All right, now your person's already putty in your hands. So now take the towel down and now keep the contact with the client at all times. Now you'll see that I put the oil into my hand first and then onto the body. You never want to squirt the person like a hot dog, putting ketchup on a hot dog. So also the other thing is, you'll see a lot of people will just like not think of this as a sort of a stretch. See, as I'm working through here, I'm not only distributing the oil, like massage therapists might just sort of like polish it on like you're putting wax on a car or something, and not thinking. Even with the distribution of oil, make them real massage strokes. Even though you're just getting the oil all over the back, make it feel great. So you see, it's not just I'll squirt it on there and just all right, get that before I start the massage. Make it all part of it. So you can see what I call the scissor stroke. You see here, so I'm turning my body. You see, turning the hips and shoulders there. It's not front on just using arms. Like I talked to you earlier on, we are using, you see I'm driving through the legs, using my body. So you can see that, keeping my shoulders down, broad across the chest. We're going down through here, down through the back, rectus spinae muscle, and across the top of the shoulders there. So see that? And again, most of my pressure is really about this here, because that's what, rather than sort of trying to drive with your fingers, it's just so much better feeling and so much easier for you, as if your weight should be into this palm area, this sort of base of the thumb. Can't remember what it's, thenar eminence and hypothenar eminence. Can't remember my hand anatomy. So see that now just coming up. So you see that coming around the shoulders and then up through the neck there. Don't go high up into someone's hairline. Oh, it's a horrible thing. So when you come up, see, okay, imagine I've got hair. So, and they come up and they bring it up into the hair. No one wants oily hair. Please don't do that. So come up and finish at the base of the skull. So, got two hands together here, as you can see, locked in for extra strength. So much better than having them apart like this. And this is a double hand circle. So these are really just loosening up before we start working elbows and forearms. So you can just see that. Now, don't worry if I'll put this all together with just some music so that you can, if you haven't done my deep tissue course, which is what this is from, I'll just have this to music. So I'm taking you through what I do, as you can see, the important aspects. So look at my arm, look at my shoulders are down, and see that I've got one hand again on top of the other for strength, to apply more pressure easily. But you can see that I'm just driving through that arm, making sure my shoulder's down, and then just working all the way up. It's not bending the elbow. You don't bend it. Once you start bending the elbow like that, if I was doing that, then you're starting to use muscular effort and overworking your joints. So I'm coming up and around that shoulder. So you can imagine someone with a shoulder, they'll have tightness up through here, through those, again, I'm sorry if you don't know your muscles, but through the Levator Scapulae at the top, this sort of big gristly one, if that helps you, that you can feel at the edge of the shoulder blade. The rhomboids, the muscles between the shoulder blades, the upper trapezius. We talked about infraspinatus on the shoulder blades themselves, teres minor, all of these muscles. We want to loosen up. Okay. So you can see here we're now just coming down. It's a bit hard to see on this, but I've got my thumbs like this together. So I've talked about this in my courses, but you'll see that I don't do all this thumb circling, there's so many massage overhead thumbs, because it's just too taxing on your thumbs. They're small joints, so that's why we're going to use our body weight, our weight transference, and not thumb circling. Okay, it's way too hard, and other techniques, it's not only much better for your body, but much better feeling for the client. So it's a little difficult to see, but what I'm doing between the shoulder blade and the spine, and then coming round the top of the shoulder here again. So this is going to be really good across that top of the shoulder. Remember, supraspinatus is involved, so often. So by doing that, we start loosening up that supraspinatus when we work across the top of the shoulders there, and upper trapezius. So once again, double thumbs for strength, got them together for strength, and going, I think I'm going either side of the spine on that one. I think I started on one side. I think, yeah, so either side of the spine. So, but you see I've got the strength on my fists here. So when they're not like together, then I have them like that. So this is such a lovely feeling massage. You know, whether a person's got pain or not, they're going to feel something went a bit glitchy there. So what's going on there? But hopefully that'll restore itself. Yep, there we go. Not sure what happened there. So now I'm working through these Quadratus Lumborum muscles, but between the 12th rib and the. Just looking at, yeah. So what I'm doing here, just working through that area there between the ribs and the sort of top of your hip, if you like, the ilium. And you see when I'm doing it, I've always sort of, you know, a lot of the time, as I say, it's braced, it's on top to give you extra strength if you need it. This is working through there with my fingers on top of the other. And then what I'm doing, I'm coming back, so fingers one side, my thumbs doing the same work on the other side there, towards my side. And now what I'm doing is just gently going over. You don't want to twang the muscle on this. So what I'm doing is just going across that muscle, sort of, if you like, transverse friction on the erector spina that's going up. And be careful when you do this that you're not, I say, going too deeply. You want it to go underneath your fingers, but you don't want it too deeply where it's going like plucking a guitar string. You don't want that. That'll be really uncomfortable. Okay, so coming up there, just doing some hand over hand strokes there. Cross the shoulder blade. So this would be really beneficial, say, for the muscles on the back of the shoulder blade there, your Infraspinatus, teres minor and teres major. Now, okay, now we've got the body loosened up nicely. Now you see I'm just resting on it. So my hand's nice and loose. It's not clenched too much there, keeping, you know, it's little muscular effort out of it. And I'm going between the shoulder blade and the spine here on the camera side. So here's left side. The slower you do it, the better. You cannot do this slowly enough. The slower it goes, and you see my shoulders, you see that? I'm just literally leaning on the person. See that? I'm pretty much using the inch or so of my, from my elbow about an inch down. And it's not sure if you saw it there, but as I come back, I sink my body weight down with my legs. And then I have to lift up a little bit as we come up here. But you can see, it's just, this feels amazing. And it's fun to do, you know, because you're not there having to hammer away using your thumbs or anything like this. This just feels incredible. And of course, it's going to loosen up this area just so beautifully. Now across the shoulder blade. So I'm using, you can turn your hand one way or another, which will introduce the ulnar bone or the radius, but whatever, ulnar down here. So you can, if I turn it like that, it's going to be more like a blade, as I talk about in my Lomi Lomi course. But if you want to do it there, you can move around and use just the, without the bone as well, depending on the size of your client, how big, you know, sort of how big and how much pressure you need. But this without the bone here, if you want to do it that way, sort of palm down, or if you want more pressure, you can use with where the bone is here, and that'll give you a deeper pressure. So now he's working with the other side there, his right side. Again, you see, super slow. You do not want to be going, you know, I mean, it just feels so much better to go slowly. And if you don't believe me, try it out yourself. Get someone to do it and get them to slow it down and slow it down and slow it, or get feedback from someone you're practicing on. Because even though the person may have shoulder pain, why not give them an incredible massage? If you're a massage therapist, they're expecting, okay, to help their shoulder, but also, to get a great massage as well. And of course, obviously this is very effective at loosening up all these structures. As you can see, after the elbow work, I'm just doing some lighter, just break that up. And now, here we go. Thumbs are placed together for strength. Down around the shoulder blade, over that Levator Scapulae, and now I'm going in this supraspinatus, where that is, the supraspinatus fossa. You can see I'm even doing some acupressure work there, some trigger point work. Just rocking there. So now just doing all through those rhomboids. It can get so overactive. People, when they're like this, these get all tight. And of course, that supraspinatus, vitally important to really work that, because implicated in basically all shoulder problems. So I'm see, thumb over thumb, always keeping it much easier for me, extra pressure. So what I'm doing, going around that shoulder blade and just doing all of those rhomboids, upper trapezius, supraspinatus, now on the Levator Scapulae, that one at the corner of the, you'll feel that sort of ropey band if you don't know your anatomy there. So I'm working that, now I'm doing work on that, because again, these get overactive, so we want to get balance in all of these muscles. Now right along the supraspinatus there. So if that supraspinatus spine that I talked about that comes out with the acromion, I'm above the spine there, above the supraspinatus, that bone that goes along there, the supraspinatus spine, I'm above that, which is getting onto, if you look at back to your anatomy chart if you need to, that's where the supraspinatus is there. So now I'm working between the spine and the shoulder blades, and this is going along the fibers of the rhomboids. So you can see I'm always doubling up my thumbs. Even though I've got strong hands from 25 plus years of massage, strong, thumbs, you're always protecting yourself. So you just see doing pressure point work there. And now what I'm doing here is just picking up that upper trapezius here and working that, loosening that up. Okay, so now, as you can see here, again, thumb on top of thumb, and I'm working these muscles on the back of that shoulder blade. Infraspinatus, remember, below the suprascapular, the scapular spine, the ones below that, okay? Infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major on the back of the shoulder blade. Working across the other side there, and once again, picking up that. Now this is right, when people massage you right at the top and they press down on that, that's where an acupuncture point called gallbladder 21 is, and it gets trigger points in that, so it's really good to work that. Now, once again, infraspinatus at the back of the shoulder blade, working along the length of it. So remember how it goes sort of up towards that armpit there. Well, it definitely goes up to the armpit, but on that sort of 45 degrees. So we're working along those fibers there. So dealing with trigger points, tight muscles, any spasms, right to the back of the capsule there, right to the back there. See that? So what we're doing, it's called muscle stripping, but it's not actually stripping the muscle, but it's as we work along the length of the muscle. All right, now we bring the arm out like that. Obviously, now I'm working again right along those, right up to the tendons there. So obviously the person, you have to see if the person can put their arm comfortably like that. So now I'm really addressing that infraspinatus muscle, the tendons from teres minor, teres major, as we go through there, right to the back of the shoulder there. And now I'm opening it up more, putting these on more of a stretch. Again, it would depend on if the person could do that comfortably. Otherwise, you would have to miss out. But if you can do it, absolutely. So you can see what we're doing, what I'm doing. I'm working along those, and now they're in a more stretched position, So a lengthened position, so it's going to work them even better.